he's been as connected with his team as I think I've ever seen him. And I think his play has really been fantastic.
His play has been really good, but his play has not been the play of the elite guys. And the masses believe that Kyrie belongs in the elite class, and he just does not. My statement for Kyrie is he's the best number two man in the league. I believe he belongs in the tier of Jamal Murray, Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Davis, all of these guys that are number twos on their team. That's the class that Kyrie belongs in. I love watching Kyrie Irving. I think he's an incredible basketball player. But he's just one of those guys that have been many throughout the history of the NBA who is just vastly overrated by the masses. They put him in this category that he just does not belong in. And,
what category is that? Because I almost hold him in his own category. Me. He's extremely skilled, but I think that the bulk of his career has been marked by being injury prone, by not always being a connected teammate, and really kind of playing up to his talent level, and that's what I characterize. That's what he is for me. And I actually feel like presently this particular playoff run, he's been as connected with his team as I think I've ever seen him. And I think his play has really been fantastic.
His play has been really good, but his play has not been the play of the elite guys. And the masses believe that Kyrie belongs in the elite class, and he just does not. My statement for Kyrie is he's the best number two man in the league. I believe he belongs in the tier of Jamal Murray, Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Davis, all of these guys that are number twos on their team. That's the class that Kyrie belongs in. Because he shouldn't be compared to the Lukas, the Nikola Jokic's and whatever, Anthony Edwards and these guys, for various different reasons. Number one, he doesn't have that skill set. He cannot carry a team. We've seen that movie before. And number two, he does have a level. His inconsistent play, his bad games. Last game was a bad game, but it was god awful. Like think about it. Luka had a bad game last game, and Kyrie had a bad game last game. Kyrie played immensely worse. Like it was, like Luka still had a good game. He had that basically 30, 15, and 12 or whatever the case, whatever it is. I know I'm off a number here, a number there. Okay. Like that last turnover by Kyrie, the game
Trying to pass into the middle.
Yeah, that was awful. Game, what was that? Game 2 or game 3? He misses 2 free throws back to back. Well, he missed 4 in the entire game.
Yeah.
He missed 2 free throws back to back with 30 or 40 seconds to go. If it wasn't for Luka's game winner, they lose that game.
Yeah.
And they lose it because Kyrie just missed 2 back-to-back free throws. Okay, and then Luka gets the stop. Not only does Luka first, he got the stop on the defensive play when he broke up the alley-oop. He did the stuff that I tell you that the centers do. It's just one time. Luka only did it one time. But he stopped the penetration of the guy who was making the layup, and then he also at the same time, simultaneously at the same play, he stopped the alley-oop. Then after they got the stop, he went down and hit the game winner. But if Kyrie hits those 2 free throws, they're not in that predicament where they even need that from him. He has that sprinkle without, even though you say he's fantastic, he's playing he's playing really good, but he's had like quite a few really bad moments in this playoff run, which is cool for a number 2. If people put him in that realm of thought, like Jamal Murray still played really good in that playoff series. But even him, he had bad games. He had, if Jokic plays to that level, the Denver Nuggets, they may not even escape the first round. They never win the championship. Like it's levels to these, and Kyrie has never been at the elite level. Is my point.
Well, I agree with you that he's a number two, and I mean it's to me it's quite obvious. I mean, the greatest successes of his career has come playing alongside LeBron and playing alongside Luka, and that's not really disputed. I also will say this though, like a great number two, like makes you think at times that he might be the number one, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
There were moments when you watched the Jordan Bulls, and you thought, "Damn, Pippen really does, damn near everything." Like there's moments when you're watching the Nuggets and Murray's hitting big shot after big shot, and it's like, gosh, does this work without him? Is he more important? And Kyrie's had those flashes too, like and I think that's when a number two, a guy who's truly a number two, is in the right environment, that's exactly the way it should look like.
Yeah.
Because they're that talented that they'll make you think at a certain moment or a certain glance that they might be the number one or that they're the same. I know with Pippen and Jordan, sometimes it was like they're the best two players in basketball.
Yeah.
Because you felt that. And that's the beauty of the 1-2 dynamic when it's right. And I agree with you completely. He's a number two. He's an elite number two. I do think I would say this in the modern era, we have to look at like so many younger basketball people are immersed in like the trainer and the skill set and in particular like the flashy skill set. And that's what Kyrie is like the embodiment of. And so when you look at him play and you're some guy that's, 18, 16 years old, you got a trainer and you're trying to replicate a lot of the shit that he does, like he becomes your guy.
Yeah.
And his manner of play resonates with you. And again, this is another thing I kind of feel like I bring up quite often. There's the relatability. In an NBA setting, there's nothing extraordinary about Kyrie's physicality.
Mm-hmm.
He's a below average height NBA player. He's quick, but not the quickest guy. He can leap, and he's not the greatest leaper in anywhere. And so his equalizer, difference maker, is the skill set. And you got to realize that like all these clowns who are 15, 16, 17 working with their trainer who aren't 5-star guys, that's what they see themselves as. That's why he resonates with them. Because most of these guys are 5'11", 6 foot, maybe, whatever. None of these guys are 6'8" and 240 like Luka or, 7'3" like Wemby. Like Kyrie's feels relatable, that you can take some things from his game that can work in your skill set, your size set against people that you might be playing against. And I think that that's part of what maybe almost like magnifies his his value or his stature in the league with certain people. But I go to like anybody who knows what they're looking at realizes that he's not stable or consistent enough to be a number one, and all of the best moments of his career have been being the number two to a completely elite number one. And there's no shame in that. He's found, and I think the Dallas thing, he's literally found, it's similar to what he had with LeBron. He's found his perfect environment to be himself.
No, yeah, for sure. And I don't want to ignore Terrence's message here. Luka had missed a free throw at the end of that 3-point play.
Yeah, fuck Luka.
That could have been a 4-point play that could have changed game 4 also.
Yeah.
But it's an opinion, and it's my opinion. I mean, he just hit a fucking crazy 3-point shot. They're down 6. You know what I mean? They're down 6 with like a couple seconds to go, and that was just an amazing fucking 3-point play.
I didn't even think that the foul was justified.
Yeah. So I just don't think that missed free throw was as impactful at all. And even if he makes it, you're down 2 with a couple seconds to go. They get the ball. You know what I mean? Like you still have to count on them to miss a free throw or to not get that wide open layup that Nas got anyway. So even if he would have made the free throw, you're down 2, and then Nas gets the free throw, you're up 4. So I mean, like I understand it's a point to be made. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. But I understand. I just don't think
am big though, and like a lot like playing games to the end.
Yeah.
I'm really big on and all those little situations matter.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and so like I'm not saying you blame the loss on the missed free throw, but it's a little different. If that margin's 1 point different on the ensuing possession, it's played a little differently. And yeah, that's why like I was arguably obsessive, but like when FSU was kind of in the shit, not Willie shit. This was like late Bobby Bowden shit. I would literally like have a notebook and I would document the game as it's happening, almost like a play-by-play. And I would write the game that didn't get played. And what I would look at is all of the stupid turning points that derailed possessions. And we were so bad. And one of the reasons why we were so bad is because we had a propensity at that time. Like, you'd have an offensive possession, like, gain 2 first downs, then, holding call, offside, out of field goal range, punt. That's your possession. Like, and then like whatever. Then the other team would be coming down, 3rd and 15, pass interference, Florida State, first down, they get go on to get a touchdown. And it's like all those little things, like the game changes with each one of them. And like when you're truly doing your job as a team player, coach, whatever, you're kind of constantly recalibrating and adapting to the exact situation that you're in, play by play by play by possession. And you're living in that moment and making those plays, so you don't like necessarily get affected by it. But when you look at it in the big picture, yeah, a lot of those things change the game.
Yeah.
That missed free throw, that turnover, chance to tie the game. Now you're down 5. All that are huge swings when you look at it, when it's done.
Yeah, it matters. In my opinion, it just didn't matter at all. But that doesn't mean I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
It just kind of is what it is. Now they're moving to they're moving to this game 5, and we'll see, man. It's not a secret. I've been a fucking Luka guy since he came into the league, and now I mean I think he's the second best player in the league, right behind Jokic, and I know you're not a Luka guy at all, so it's going to be important, and I just think it's so impressive what he's doing. Like, he's playing against the number 1 defense in the league, and it's not even close. Like Minnesota is the number 1 defense in the league by a wide margin throughout the regular season and the playoffs. So it's not like it was a drop off from their performance in their defensive performance. It's been the same. And for him to just come out here and be producing at this level, and it's just fucking amazing to me. And it'll be interesting to see if they can close it out, because Boston has, they're going to have all this advantage of rest, and you got Porzingis. Now the final start when the final start, so it's not like other playoff series where it depends on when this team loses and then they'll go to that next whatever Tuesday or Thursday. The playoffs start the final start next Thursday, no matter how long this Dallas and Timberwolves series takes. So
if it ends tomorrow, it's starting a week away.
Exactly.
If this got drug out to Game 7, then it begins like 2 or 3 days after.
Exactly. They don't have
I just realized that was kind of funky.
Yeah. So Dallas in particular, they need the rest because Luka's banged up, and then you have the lively guy, the rookie center. He's out. They can utilize that rest. You know what I mean?